07 Commanders, welcome back to Elite Dangerous. I'm Orbital Jeffo. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about subsurface mining. Once you get the hang of it, subsurface mining is a really enjoyable form of mining in the game. I enjoy it immensely, and it's a lot of fun drilling into these asteroids. Before we begin, however, I want to thank Alexander for bringing this to my attention in the comments. Thinking back to my original foundational laser mining video, I did neglect to mention one thing, and it has to do with the surface scanner. Now, I had it in my notes to talk about, however, when I was recording and narrating the video, I was mostly going by the seat of my pants, and I just neglected to mention that this is something that you're going to want to have installed on your ship. So I do sincerely apologize if I sent you out there missing a piece of equipment. Let's get into the video and talk about subsurface mining. Of course, now that we have updated our basic equipment, you need to make sure you have your collector limpet controller, your refinery, your prospector limpet controller, and of course your detailed surface scanner. Now for subsurface mining, we need 2 extra pieces of equipment on top of that. In our utility mounts, we need to bring our pulse wave analyzer. If you remember, this scans the area for asteroids with particular features. And in our hardpoint section, you're also going to need the subsurface displacement missile. The subsurface displacement missile launches little explosive charges that have drills attached to them. They drill down into the deposit, down to where the mineral is, and then they detonate an explosive charge, freeing up that mineral for you to then scoop up with your collector limpets. Let's get out there and give this a try. I think you're going to find that it's a lot of fun once you get the hang of it. Now, today we're going to be mining in a much darker area. Night vision is definitely going to help us here. It's really going to help us visualize the asteroids and be able to see the features as we find them on the asteroids. As in previous videos, if any pirates jump in to scan you, just let them scan you. They'll be on their way shortly. At this point, you probably only have limpets in your hold anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy our hard points and bring up my pulse wave analyzer. As you remember from the previous video, the pulse wave analyzer scans the area for asteroids which have features. These features could be subsurface deposits, which we'll be talking about today. They could be cores, or they could be surface deposits, some of which you saw in the core mining video. So again, just as it was when core mining, we're going to be looking for asteroids which are particularly bright, brighter than all the others. It's okay to scan dull-colored asteroids. However, the best features are going to be brighter in color. It looks like today we've actually been scanned by the Federal Security Service. That's no big deal. I'm going to give this one a try with my prospector limpets, see what it brings up. Looks like it's brought up a few subsurface deposits. They're those bubbly looking things. I'm just going to take a quick glance at my contacts list, and I can see that those are tritium subsurface deposits. That's perfect, because we're looking to fill up somebody's fleet carrier today. Now, subsurface mining is very straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and select my displacement missiles that we talked about earlier. Now, something that you're probably going to notice about my ship, and it's due to the placement of my hard points, is that my aim is slightly off when it comes to the displacement missiles. That's okay, I just have to compensate a little bit with my positioning. Now, when firing a displacement missile, we're going to hold the trigger down, and we're going to continue holding the trigger down. All right, now you see our drill has deployed on our left-hand side. We're going to release that within a blue area. Those represent your deposits, and there's different sizes of them. Notice in my lower left-hand information panel there where you see the graphical representation of the subsurface deposits, you see it's down to 75% in that hull indicator section. Once that reaches 0, that particular subsurface deposit is going to be depleted. Now I'm going to continue firing new drills and pulling out deposits. It's a little bit of a mini game. Just release the trigger once your indicator is within that range. And now's a good time to begin deploying some collector limpets. I'm going to go ahead and deploy 4.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
Now I'm going to reposition my ship and I'm going to continue drilling. Just remember, hold trigger. Now, if you fail an extraction, you'll notice that the overall health, so to speak, of the subsurface deposit has decreased. However, you did not get any mineral yield off of it. And that makes sense because you're drilling holes into your precious deposit, but you're not actually reaching anything. So we're going to hold, we're going to select, and we're going to release. Now you notice once it disappears there, that deposit is depleted. It's time to move on to the next one. And we've depleted that particular deposit. Just gonna let my limpets catch up a little bit. We'll move on to the other side of the asteroid. We just continue firing drills until our asteroid is depleted. You will notice that you drill slower through the denser sections of the deposit versus the less dense sections of the deposit. Once all of our limpets are finished, they're going to ride along with us, and I'm going to close our cargo scoop. Let's take a look at our yield. The one asteroid with 4 subsurface deposits yields us 31 tons of tritium. A worthwhile venture indeed. Now, Commanders, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking to you about subsurface mining. If you have any questions or if there's anything I didn't cover, please do leave it for me in the comments below. Consider liking and subscribing this video, and I hope to see you out there making some money in the galaxy. Until next time, 07 Commanders, thanks for joining me.